All right, so let's go ahead and get started with page 10 and 11. Last time, right, we went ahead and solved for y and then putting it in our slope-intercept form. We are going to do the same thing today. However, we're going to solve for y, and then we're going to go ahead and determine the slope and the y-intercept of our lines, right? Remember, m is the slope, your y-intercept is that b. So when we put it all together, we want to go ahead and look at the form of y is equal to mx plus b. Okay, so same exact thing. Starting with a, it says 6x plus 3y is equal to 12. So I'm going to go and start with my line in the middle. Okay, we know that we have to get the 6x on the other side. So I'm going to go and subtract both sides by 6x. So we're left with a positive 3y is equal to the negative 6x plus 12. Same exact thing, we know that there's a 3 in front of the y, so I have to go and divide every single thing by 3. So 3 divided by 3, that cancels out. We're left with y is equal to, thinking negative 6 divided by 3. Right, negative divided positive does give me a negative. 3 goes into 6 2 times. So I get a negative 2x, and then plus 12 divided by 3, which is 4. Okay, so this is my equation that we're looking at. Y is equal to negative 2x plus 4. Here is now we're going to go and determine the slope. If I'm going back to my form of y is equal to mx plus b, right, slope is m, b is the y-intercept, so it looks like my slope is negative 2. And then my b is 4, or I can go ahead and rewrite it in a point, right, 0, comma, 4. Okay. Cool. Same thing with example B. I'm going to go ahead and draw my line in the middle, and I'm going to go ahead and solve for y. So we start with the negative 3x. Let's go ahead and add 3x to both sides. I am left with a negative 2y, so make sure you guys are bringing down that negative. And that equals to a positive 3x minus 10. Need to get rid of this negative 2, so I'm going to divide every single thing by negative 2 so that these two cancel out. I'm left with y is equal to, I have a positive 3 divided by a negative 3, so this becomes negative 3 over 2, and I bring down the x with me. And then I have a negative 10 divided by negative 2, right? Negative divided negative gives me a positive 5. Okay, so same exact thing. I'm looking at this equation now. Here I can pinpoint my slope. It looks like my slope is a negative 3 over 2. And then my b value, my y-intercept, is 5, or I can rewrite it as 0, comma 5. Okay. Part C, same exact thing. I'm going to go and start with my line in the middle. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this positive 2x, so I'm going to go ahead and subtract 2x on both sides. Same thing as last time, that last example. I have to bring down that negative 6y, and I get negative 2x plus the 18. Okay, trying to get rid of this negative 6, I'm going to go and divide every single thing by negative 6 so that the negative 6's cancel out. All I'm left with is my y. I have a negative 2 divided by negative 6. Guys, if I were to go ahead and plug this into my calculator, as it slowly loads, right? If I plugged in negative 2 divided by negative 6, it gives me a decimal, but don't worry, right? If I press that little fraction symbol, it does simplify my fraction, okay? I can go and take 2 out of the 2 and the 6. So we get a positive 1/3. So this becomes 1/3 x, right? The x just comes down with me. And then I have 18 divided by a negative 6. That gives me a negative 3. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and look at this guy right here. It looks like then my slope is 1/3. My b is negative 3. or I can go ahead and rewrite it as 0, comma, -3. Okay. Now, same exact thing if I'm looking at part D. I'm going to go ahead and start with my line in the middle. I'm going to go ahead and add 5x because I need to cancel that -5x. I'm going to go and bring down negative. Oh, this always happens. Oh my goodness gracious, give me 1 second. All right, I'm going to go ahead and bring down the -3y, equal it to the 5x plus 12. I'm going to go ahead and divide everything by -3. So those cancel out. I'm left with y is equal to, now 5 divided by -3, that actually does not reduce. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it as -5/3. Bring down the x with me. And then I have a positive 12 divided by -3. That gives me a -4. Okay, so my slope this time, you can go and circle my answer or highlight my answer. My slope is a -5/3. And then my y-intercept is -4, or if I were to write it as an ordered pair, 0, comma, -4. Okay, so it's the same thing as last lesson, but now we just identified the slope and the y-intercept. When you're ready, you can go ahead and flip the page, and let's look at page 11. So same exact thing, however, now we're actually going to go ahead and graph them. Okay, so I'm going to go and start with part A. I'm going to go ahead and put my little divider. We have -4x plus 2y is equal to 12. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add 4x on both sides. I get a positive 2y is equal to 4x plus 12. Have to get rid of this 2, so I'm going to divide every little thing by 2. 2 divided by 2 gives me 1, so what comes down is just y. 4 divided by 2 is 2. The x comes along with me. And then I have a positive 12 divided by 2 gives me a positive 6. So here's my new equation in my slope-intercept form. Now it looks like my slope is 2. Remember, if you get just a full number, like a whole number, I can rewrite it as a fraction of 2 divided by 1, which just gives me 2. Okay, my slope or my y-intercept is 6, or if I were to write it as an ordered pair, 0, comma 6. And same thing with graphing, right? We're going to start with my y-intercept. We're going to start with b. So on my graph, I'm going to go ahead and these are my x values. Here are my y values, right? X, comma, y. So my x is 0, so I'm going to start at 0, and then I'm going to go up 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here's my first point. This is 0, comma 6, my y-intercept. And then it looks like my slope is going up 2 to the right 2. So 2 over 1, right? Rise over run. We're going to go up 2, and then we're going to go right 1. So this time we're actually going to go off my graph. I'm going to go ahead and go up 2, so that's 1, go up 2, to the right 1. Here's my other point. Okay, and now I can go ahead and draw my line, and this is what we look like. Okay, now same exact thing for this one. I'm going to go ahead and draw my little divider. I'm going to solve for y. Looks like I'm going to subtract 9x from both sides. I'm left with -y, so I have to bring that down with me, is equal to the -9x plus 4. I'm going to divide. There's really a sneaky little -1, so I'm going to divide everything by -1. My -1's cancel out. I'm left with y is equal to -9 divided by -1. Gives me a 9x. Then I have a positive 4 divided by -1 gives me a -4. So here's my equation in slope-intercept form. Again, it looks like my slope is 9. However, I could turn it into 9 over 1 because 9 divided by 1 is just 9. My b is -4, or if I were to write it as an ordered pair, is 0, comma, -4. So again, we start with my y-intercept, my v value. We're going to start at 0, and I'm going to go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here is my first point, 0, comma, -4. And then I'm going to go up 9 to the right 1. So I'm going to go up 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'm going to go right 1. So there's my second point. And then I can go ahead and create my line. Okay. Same exact thing. Go ahead and try C. Try solving for y first. You guys can press pause on the video and then come back. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and draw my little divider. I need to get rid of this 3x, so I'm going to go ahead and subtract 3x on both sides. I am left with a positive 5y is equal to a negative 3x plus 15. I am then going to go ahead and divide everything by 5. So I get y is equal to a negative 3 over 5x plus 15 divided by 5 gives me a positive 3. So here's my new equation. My slope, it looks like, is a negative 3/5. And then my b is 3, or in other words, it's 0, comma 3. So when looking at my graph, I'm going to start at 0. For my x values, I'm going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3. So here's my first point of 0, comma 3. And then my slope is a negative 3 over 5. So that means I'm going to go down 3 to the right 5. Because it's negative, because it's negative, I'm going to go down instead of up. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to go right 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's my second point. So I can go ahead and draw my line, and we are good to go.